Right, this beauty right here is the subject of today's video, but before we get into that, let me just give you a taster. Let me give you 5 things that I love about this car. Number 1, the spoiler. It's niche, but I just absolutely love it. Number 2 is the black and blue combination. It's been dechromed, and I think it just suits this car. Everyone's dechroming just about everything nowadays. Doesn't always work, but with this blue, it works. Number 3, it looks sporty, but it's actually not that sporty. And you might think, well, why is that a pro? Gets me onto number 4, it's cheap. It's cheap to run. It's cheap to insure-ish, depending on who you are. It's a relatively cheap to tax car. And number 5 is because of the lovely job that it's had done being cleaned. Hang on a minute, I'm about to get run over. That being said, let's rewind about 1 hour ago. The reason I look like a bouncer is because I'm hoping I can get some nice GoPro footage. You can see me here and you can hopefully see me here. We've got this double view. To be fair, this is one of the nice things about this car because it looks sporty, it looks expensive, but it's actually not. So you don't have to clean it yourself. You can actually pay someone else to clean it. You've got money left over, basically. I've done all the costs on running this car compared to something more sporty, and we'll go through that properly when we're out on the road. First things first, it's the pre-wash. This bit actually matters more than you would think, because if you don't get, you've got to get all this dirt off before you start going in with things like snow foam. You're basically, if you don't get this dirt off, you're basically just dragging all the grime across the plate. It's going to look like just a massive scratch card by the end of it if you don't get all this dirt off. So yeah, it is snow foam time, everyone's favourite time, snow foam time. The snow foam, it doesn't just look great, but it actually does something for the car. It's just like a big shampoo, but nice aesthetic shampoo for the car. And again, it only works properly if you've done that pre-wash. Otherwise, you're just foaming up dirt and rubbing it around. It just doesn't work. I don't know why people love this snow foam so much, but you know what, I get it. It looks nice. Then we're going to let that drip for a little bit. We're going to let it do its work, and then we get the wash mitt. Now, I've been told I'm doing this absolutely wrong. It's meant to be straight lines, but there's something about just like moving it in little circles, which I enjoy doing more, but I'm not a detailer, so I'm just doing what I'm doing. Then we're going to rinse it off. My top tip here is to start from the top, work your way down, especially if you're using snow foam. Otherwise, you just end up foaming it up and just pushing it around everywhere. Just honestly, top to bottom. That's my top tip for this car. Finally, we're gonna go in with the drying towel. You want to dry your car off. If you leave it wet, if you leave it to dry in the sun, it's just going to get a load of watermarks on it. It just looks absolutely horrible. So, right, now we can actually get to test driving this thing, but first let me get the boring techie spec stuff out the way so we can actually get on with the test drive. What is it? What are we in? It's an Audi A3 1.5 TFSI S line Sportback automatic S Tronic. It goes 0 to 60 in about 8.1 seconds, top speed of around 140 miles per hour, and it's pushing a solid 150 horsepower. So yeah, no one is accidentally entering any kind of drag race at the traffic lights in this, not unless you've got an ego. It's still a nice car, and if you missed any of that spec performance stuff, just go back and rewatch it or Google it. It's all the same information. Now straight away it feels planted, like it's properly stuck to the road, almost like it's got magnets underneath. And even though it's not crazy powerful, it does feel like it's got more power than it actually does. And I think part of that might be the way that it looks. Obviously the guys at NK, they've fitted that S styling body kit on it that you've seen from the outside, so visually it looks like an S car. So your brain's kind of like, it's telling you to expect it to be rapid, even though it's not. It's a bit of a placebo going on, but hey, I'm not complaining because it works. It feels fast for you, but without it actually being fast. And why would you want to do that? Why would you want a car that looks fast, looks sporty, but isn't sporty? A big part of that is going to be the running cost, and I've done the maths. So bear with me, let me see if I can remember the numbers whilst also concentrating on driving, because this is where it makes a lot of sense, because you get something that looks sporty, but you're not paying S3 money to run it. Average UK mileage is about 8 to 10,000 per year. So roughly, the average Brit is doing about 150 to 200 miles a week. This car's going to do about 45 to 50 miles per gallon. So realistically, the average person is looking to pay about 1,800 to around 2 grand a year on fuel. Obviously, that's a lot more right now as fuel prices are risen right up. Road tax on this car is about 190 to 200 pound a year, and insurance roughly is going to be about 500 to 1,200 pound a year, depending on who you are and who you go with, and you know, all of that jazz. So all in, the average person is going to pay about 3 to 4.5k a year to run this car. Now let's compare that to a quicker car, a sporty car like an S3. With an S3, you're going to jump up about 300 horsepower, 0 to 60 in about 4.5 seconds, but that comes at a price. The fuel drops to about 30 miles per gallon on a good day. Insurance jumps up massively and everything just costs more. Realistically, you're probably adding 1.5 to 2 grand a year just to run it. So this is kind of like a sweet spot. It looks like it should be rapid. It's got that placebo effect where you feel like it's more powerful than it is, but your bank account is still on speaking terms with you. You're not going broke just to drive it. You can afford to do things like get it washed professionally and not have to wash it yourself. And it's a good feeling car to drive. Round the corners, it feels solid. I'm not exactly a racing driver, but this makes you feel like, you know, you're a better driver than you are. It's just easy. You get in it and within 5 minutes you're comfortable pushing it a bit, you're comfortable taking those corners, you're comfortable driving. Visibility is great in this car. You always know where you are on the road, you can see everything perfectly, and everything is pretty easy to use. You're not digging through all these menus trying to do basic stuff. You can kind of work everything out pretty easily. The one thing I don't like is this. These things next to the steering wheel, I don't know what you call them. Stalks? Paddles? Paddly stalks? Where like the indicators are? There's 3 behind this wheel. So you got 1 on the right hand side and then you got 2 on the left. And I feel like I'm one wrong move away from accidentally indicating or wiping the windscreen or turning the radio into German or something. Like it just feels like I'm going to knock it accidentally. Comfort wise, as a driver you feel quite locked in, which I like. The passenger's got a bit more space to move around, and the interior, it's not like super luxury, but it's far from cheap. It's very cockpit like, especially with this digital dash. It just makes you feel like a kid again, pretending to drive some kind of rocket ship. That's a good feeling. The brakes are solid as well. It's not too sharp, not too soft, just easy to judge, predictable. And that's what we like in cars, predictability. I'd also like to make a quick note whilst we are driving. I had some advice from another YouTuber, Millionaire Motorsport, about the GoPro placement. In the other videos I put it on top of my head. I noticed his looked way better, so I asked him how he does it, and I think this looks better. It's now on my chest. You can't see as much as the road as when it's on my head, but I prefer seeing more of the wheel for like this test drive POV anyway. Let me know what you think as well. This YouTube has been doing quite well recently, and I appreciate all the comments. The comments have been class. Honestly, waking up and reading the comments on these videos first thing, it generally sets my day up, and I really do appreciate it. I'm not saying I'm getting hundreds of comments, it's probably 1 every other day, but I'm really appreciating the positive feedback. Even when it's not that positive, I'm just loving reading through the comments. One guy the other day, he said, the YouTube videos we're making, it's like Keith Lemon does Top Gear, and I ain't gonna lie, I'd be cracking up all day. We've also just had our second video hit 5k views, and we've officially passed 130 subscribers. So can I get a hoya for that? Basically, I'm over the moon with that. Anyway, back to the car. I'm going to pull up somewhere decent over here because I want to show you what I mean about how it looks more powerful and the outside of the car. So, here's what it looks like. Oh, cover that, you can't see that, I've got to put the plates on. Got to get the plates on, boy. Thank you. Alright, close your eyes. And, you know, I'll get some nice shots of it from afar and we'll review the outside properly. So this is it, this is what we're working with. The A3, now as you can see. Alright, let me get my camera because I'm going to take some pictures of it properly. Here we go, right. Hoo-hoo. It is an absolutely lovely looking car from the outside. It's just a decent sized car. You can fit, you know, family in there if you so should want. It's a good car if you're just on your own. What more can I say about that? Starting with the wheels, we've got 18-inch 5 twin spoke alloy with that graphite grey. And yeah, these make the car. They fill the arches properly. It just sits exactly how you want it to. Onto this spoiler, round the back, you've got this huge looking spoiler. I absolutely love that. I mean, it's not like crazy big, but it just fits the car aesthetic nicely. It's not over the top, it's just enough. Gives it that sporty edge. We've also dechromed all of this, so this is one of the best changes on this car. Everyone's dechroming everything nowadays. It doesn't always look great. It looks great on this car. All of this used to be chrome. It's now blacked out. With the blue paint, it just works. It looks cleaner, looks more aggressive. You've also got, speaking of aggression, the side skirts, which are also in black and ties everything together. Round the front, this is where it properly starts getting aggressive, and you can see that S styling coming into play. We've got that S style bumper and splitter. It's doing a very good job at pretending to be something a bit more serious than it is. And the thing is, this car gets looks. It's easy to see why. It's not outrageous, but people do notice it. People slow down. Even out here, I'm noticing people slow down and turn their heads. However, that might just be because there's a bloke walking around it with a GoPro attached to his chest, talking to himself. I don't know. But I like to think it's the car. And that being said, even when I was driving it around, I did notice a few looks. So I'm going to say it is turning heads. For the back seats, there's plenty of space. Fit your mates in there, your kids, whoever you want, you're covered. Front interior looks spacious as well straight away. The whole thing just looks very nice. It's very tech forward. It's got a proper cockpit feel to it. And the boot's got loads of space. Daily use, weekend away. It actually works as a proper all-rounder. I believe you can call this a hot hatch. I don't know, but there's plenty of room in that boot anyway. If you've got a big dog, you can fit a big dog in that boot. So yeah, it looks like an S car, cost like a sensible car, and honestly, for most people, that's probably just exactly what you want. My closing thoughts on this car before I drive it back to NK is that honestly, I do really like it. It's my kind of car. It looks really well. The black and the blue just go really, I mean, look at it. I don't even have to say anything. I can just close my mouth for once. For once, I can close my mouth and let the exterior speak for itself. It's absolutely stunning.